Since 2002, Safe and Sound has been working to keep children and young people safe from exploitation, sexual violence and abuse. We focus on three main areas of work. We reach out to those affected by child sexual exploitation by providing one-to-one and group support to help young people move to a place of safety. We also deliver training all over the UK to those who work with children and young people to help them identify and respond to those who are at risk or have become victims of this type of abuse. And finally, we influence change by using our knowledge and experience to transform national and local policy and opinion.
Child sexual exploitation is a form of child sexual abuse where children and young people are manipulated into performing sexual acts. We've been working for the past 15 years to tackle the issue of child sexual exploitation, and we work with children and young people across the county to raise their awareness of what it is, because quite a lot of young people don't understand that they're being abused.
Well, we work up to the age of 18, and sometimes we go beyond depending on what that need and support might look like for any individual. It's not gender specific. Working with young people from any background, so if there's a need there and that need needs to be met, we would do our ultimate best to try and meet that need and support those children and young people. Young people can be referred from any organisation primarily. Quite often tend to come in through CSE strategy meetings, and recommendations from that meeting might be a referral through to Safe and Sound. For us, fortunately as a voluntary service, we have the luxury of time. We have the opportunity to give people choice whether they want to engage with the service or not. We work with lots of different resources, things like working on healthy relationships, looking at boundaries, the grooming process, and kind of what we call keeping safe work to help young people make safer choices and decisions, whether that's online or whether that's in the community as well.
Safe and Sound enables children and young people under 18 in Derby and Derbyshire to move to a place of safety by offering them access to specialist support. We build confidence and self-esteem of children and young people by giving them opportunities to take part in research, consultations and positive activities. Safe and Sound ensures that the rights of the children and young people are upheld as they go through the criminal justice system as a victim of sexual exploitation by providing access to an independent sexual violence advocate. We also support young adults up to 25 in Derbyshire who've previously experienced sexual exploitation to help them to live independent and fulfilling lives. We work to prevent young people from becoming victims of sexual exploitation by delivering awareness-raising sessions in schools and other settings. We help to increase the knowledge and understanding of child sexual exploitation within communities, enabling people to spot the signs of this abuse. Safe and Sound works closely with the police and other agencies to disrupt perpetrators, helping to keep children and young people safe.
I came to Safe and Sound because I was sexually abused and groomed. It helps a lot of people understand things they've gone through and that it's not their fault. It was hard facing my fears of actually talking about the things I needed to talk about. It was nice knowing that I actually had somebody there that knew what was going on and what could be done and couldn't be done. You do need help, but you don't always need to talk about what's gone on. You're not weak, it actually makes you stronger when you can actually see the light in life. It was a rocky road with learning how to deal with my feelings and putting them to one side and getting on with life, but now I see a positive future. I'm not a victim anymore, I'm a survivor.
I was skipping school a lot, hanging around with the wrong crowd of people, hanging around in bad areas that are known for bad stuff, so then my teacher ended up referring me to Safe and Sound. There was always someone there to talk to if I needed someone, and it was a nice feeling because I didn't really have anybody else. If it happens to you, make sure you tell somebody, because it may be horrible at the time, but it gets better. I'd like for more young people to have a choice in what happens, to be more involved with the decisions that were made about them and about other young people, to improve the services, because they're the ones that know, they're the ones that have been there.
Safe and Sound's important because it does what it says on the tin. It actually protects and safeguards children and young people. And the other thing is we don't just work with young people, we work with their families.
I didn't have a full aware of what S.E.O was. Just from what I'd seen in the media and on the news, and I just believed it was gangs that was exploiting young people. My daughter, who it affected, her attendant, she suffered with PTSD. I ended up suffering with severe depression. It was hard for her older brother because he understood it, and obviously he felt he should have protected her. So it had quite an awful effect on my family. My daughter obviously got her own worker, which helped her understand what CSE was. I was given a parent support worker who was wonderful. Obviously, he liaised with the police, with school, he attended TAF meetings. It was a lifeline for me because I think without that support, I don't know where me or my family would have been because I just didn't know how to handle the whole situation. So it just made it a little bit easier for us. I feel safe and sound is very important, especially for the young people, because there's nothing out there to help them. I would strongly advise them to contact Safe and Sound, and then obviously they can get the right support. And I think it's vital to support the parents to help support the children.
We have this amazing training arm at Safe and Sound, which trains nationally in a whole host of subjects related to child sexual exploitation. It has two focuses. One is building the skills and knowledge of practitioners, directly working with children and people, but also building skills and knowledge across a wide range of services so that wherever a child or young person drops into a service, they should get the best service and they should be worked with by really skilled people who are very knowledgeable.
We evaluate the resources within Safe and Sound. We've co-opted other organisations, specialist services, to do likewise for us. So we're gathering data so that we understand what works in what circumstances and with what issues. Similarly, we're conducting some appreciative inquiries for cases that have gone well, looking at them at the moment in Derby to further reach other agencies, other areas, other regions, and we hope to have a better workforce, better equipped, more confident in working with CSE so that they can support young people that are identified as being at risk.
We've always known that we need to work with children and young people post 18 for a wide variety of reasons, and we will plan to work with children and young people up to around 25, and it's because it's experimental. We don't know if we're going to go even further than that, whether we're going to go much deeper further on into adulthood. So it's a really exciting programme.
So an independent sexual violence advisor, or ISVA as it's quite often known, is basically a professional role as a qualified practitioner as myself who supports children and young people where there are police investigations, potential court proceedings. So it's being that single point of contact for somebody, knowing that they can have somebody there for them, be a voice for them, and being an advocate for them as well. It's really important that they're included and that they understand what's going on, and usually that's quite a question that people will ask. What's going on? What's happening next?
There's lots more that Safe and Sound can do. I'd like to see us reach more professionals nationally, so train more people in how to recognise the warning signs, reach more parents and carers to enable them to understand what this form of abuse is. And that's what we're always looking for, what young people need, what parents need and what professionals might need to enable them to really tackle child sexual exploitation and put an end to it. And we need your support to really enable us to maintain those services over the longer term, but also to invest in new services to meet needs that we've now noticed, new needs, new and emerging trends that we need to tackle. That's how businesses and individuals can help.
What I can say is if you donate, invest, give money in time, if you give money in kind, if you give actual money and support Safe and Sound, what I do know is that every single penny of that is redirected into providing the best service we can for children and young people.
We're growing constantly, we are developing constantly, and to invest in somebody working with us, it can only be the right thing to do.